Hey everybody, this is Sherry, and we're going to use a set from Sweet and Sassy today called Precious Poppies. I already stamped it out because you guys don't need to see me stamping. You know how to do it. And if you don't and you want me to show you, I'm more than willing to. I just, I feel like people do it so much, I don't want to waste your time. I want to show you the parts that you want to see, and I thought that was the coloring. But if you do want to see how I stamp my images, by all means, please let me know, and I'd be more than happy to do it for you. And I have all of the colors that I use listed on the screen, like I always do, or like I try to always do. And you'll notice here that I add a fourth color here in a few minutes, and that's because I wanted it to be a little deeper and darker and have a little bit more contrast than what I was getting, a little more shadow. So here I come and I start using the R39 to give me the deepest and the darkest parts of the shadows. And I don't know if you guys have checked out this Sweet and Sassy stamp set, but I absolutely love it. Well, first off, you could use it for Mother's Day, which is great. It says Happy Mother's Day. It has sister, niece, mother, um, all kinds of things like that in there. Friend, let's see, aunt, grandmother. So, I mean, it's got a lot that you could use for Mother's Day or for family. And, but my favorite things on this are the sentiments are just amazing. And there's, you are truly a blessing. I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you for loving me. Your tender love means so much. You are so precious to me. Thanks so much. You are loved. And like um my all-time favorite. I mean, I love the one that I put on the card, but my favorite out of this whole thing is I saw Jesus in you. And that's what I want more than anything in this world, is for people to look at me and say, yep, she's a Christian. I don't want anybody to say, oh, are you a Christian? I didn't know. I want you to know by my words and my actions that I am. And so I think that sentiment is just, it, to me, it is so impacting of what I want to be and what I hope that I am to the world. I hope that you all see Jesus in me. And but let me go ahead and get back to the coloring. And there's my big old arm. And but I use this. I think you all saw in a couple videos ago where I was trying to use the distress inks, and I used the very large poppy that's in this stamp set. And there's actually two sizes on the stamp set of what you see right there. That's the largest, and then there's another one exactly like it. Well, I guess it's not exactly, but it's very close. It's got one extra little bud, and that's a lot smaller, so you could use it if you want to do a focal point on a panel just in the center or wherever on your card. It doesn't have to fill up the entire front. And I use my Memento Tuxedo Black ink for the stamping, of course. And they do have hybrid inks that you can use with stamping and watercolor. And I know that I have one from MFT, but my favorite things, but I'm just kind of hooked on, my Memento. And you see there, I started to mess up and started to color without putting my base coat in. So I go back, I fix it. I'm like, don't be messing up, Sherry. You're too far along in this this project to be screwing it up now. So I go back over and I start, go back over with my base layer and then continue on with my shadows and highlights. And it, I love, and the verse on there, I don't know if you can read it, and I didn't read it to you. It's Proverbs 31:30. Favor is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. And I'm sending this to my mom, and I'm going to put the I saw Jesus in you. I want to put it on the envelope because I think it's so important. My mom's been really struggling with some things that my sisters have been doing, and I just want her to know that, despite all of the craziness right now, that, you know, she's the reason that I saw the Lord, and I know that He's in her, and she just needs to stand strong against what's going on, what's going on in her life, because I know God's going to take care of her. And as a matter of fact, she turned 70 years old yesterday. And I'm telling you, that woman could run circles around me. It's making me feel pitiful. But I'm blessed to have a mom like her, and I just want to make sure that she knows it. It's I don't think we tell people in our life how important they are to us enough, and and then when we want to, it's always too late. So I want my mom to know that she is one of the most important things in my life, and I know that she misses my daddy, but I want to keep her here with me for as long as I can. And I'm sorry, I'll stop this now because I'm about to cry. And we're going to move on here in a few minutes to the green. And I had a heck of a time with those stems. They're thin, thin, thin. And, I don't see well enough anymore. And my hands shake. So, and plus my sugar was like all out of whack that day. And I looked like I was a leaf in the wind. Man, I was just trembling all over the place. And so I had a heck of a time. And you'll see I have to go in with the colorless blender to go around them a couple times where I messed up and went outside of the lines. But, I get it worked out, and I still love how it turned out. That colorless blender is like a godsend. That thing just, if the red is really, really hard to push back if you mess up. But any of the other colors, that colorless blender works amazing with. So it was able to push back all of the green, that I had messed up on, and fix it so that nobody but us can tell. And which makes me happy because that means my mama won't know. And I already am sending her the manatee card, which I made for her birthday. And then this will be the next card that I give her. I love sending her cards because I know that she's struggling, and, she's getting older, and she just needs encouragement. And, a bunch of us on here, we're card makers, man. That's what we do. We need to start trying to encourage other people, to let them know that, we think about them, we love them, and by golly, quit making a stash of your cards and start sending them out. That's what we do this for. And I'm really trying to do that myself, in that, as soon as I make a card, I, photograph it, get it ready for the video, and I'm trying to get them out in the mail because there are people that just need to be encouraged. And here I go for the center, and I use E17, 39, and 29. And it's kind of weird because you would think that 39 would be the darkest color, but it's not. E29 is the darkest color. And why that is, I don't know. I can't even begin to tell you, but it was definitely darker. So here I am trimming down my pieces. And these ones are all going to be 4 by 5 1/4. There's a black one and a white one. And the white one is for the inside of the card because I chose to use a red card base, 110-pound Recollections cardstock. And I'm trimming this down to try to get it to the way I want it, but I didn't want to cut off, certain parts. So I have to do a little finagling, but I trimmed that down to 3 3/4 by 5. And then I just slow it down here so that you guys can see me put it all together. And what I did was, I remember how I've always struggled with lining up my card bases. Well, I've really figured out that what works for me is to turn my card where I can get a good look at 3 sides. Now, I do better if I have a long side facing me instead of the short ones, but I use a short one for the inside, but I always do better and I do quicker if I have a long side facing me, because then I can see the long side and the 2 little short sides, and if I get them even, then I know the other side's going to take care of itself. So I don't know if that would help anybody else who's like me and been struggling, but give it a shot. It can't hurt. What's the worst that can happen? Is it you still struggle? mean, you know, that's the way I look at it. It's like, what's the worst that can happen? And so I'm just using my ATG gun to start the top layer on my card, on the front of my card for my focal piece. I really love this Precious Poppy set, and I can see me using, not necessarily, I mean, I love the flowers, but I can see me using this set for the sentiments all year long. I love it. Love the sentiments. And Jamie had this in the Not Too Shabby shop, and I will put a link to that in the description below so that you can go and check out the set and possibly purchase it from her if you love it as much as I do. So there I go. Now see, I'm taking me a little while because I'm using the short side for some reason, and I know that I do better if I use the, you know, the longer side. And I think I come to my smarts here in a couple seconds and switch it around. But I hope you guys have liked this video. I hope that I wasn't too mushy and too serious today. I guess I'm just missing my mom. I hope you guys like this video. Thank you for visiting me today. And please, you know, give this a thumbs up and leave a comment below. Thanks for visiting me, and happy crafting.